Hi, this is an AI narrating a fanfic, so you might hear a random number every 15 minutes. Just don't worry about it. I am so sorry for that. Also, if this video gets 1 likes and 1 comments, I will release the next part anyway. Enjoy the fanfic. On the 10th of October, the strongest tailed attacked Konoha 6. Minato Namikaze defeated Kyuubi along with Hiruzen Sarutobi and Jiraiya, and Suad. The Charka was divided equally and given to Mito and Narumi Uzumaki Namikaze. The soul of Kyuubi, however, was sealed inside Uzumaki Namikaze. Naruto 3. Mito and Narumi were elder, whereas Naruto was youngest. Hospital. Kushina Uzumaki was lying on hospital bed. She was exhausted. The Kyuubi was released from her body. She survived because Uzumaki clan's long life and stamina too. Minato, the burden is now passed on to our children now, said Kushina in somber tone. Minato flinched at her state. Honestly, he was used to cheerful and hot-headed Kushina. Seeing her in such state made his heart ache. Kushina, I swear your children will not be treated like other Jinchuriki, said Minato with sheer determination. 35, that's right, said Jiraiya as entered in room. We will raise them to control Kyuubi's Charka and make sure they become heroes of Konoha, said Jiraiya. That's right, I will spoil these 3 grannies' love, shouted Tsunade. 10. The mood lighted. That's right, shouted Kushina in confidence. Sensei, are you alright? Barged in Kakashi Hatake. Kushina nay. Hugged Rin. 14. Kushina hugged her back. Oi, where are my brother and sister? Said a cheerful Obito. 11. Obito looked at 3 kids. They're so cute, said Obito. I know, right? I will be their big sister, shouted Rin. Kakashi smiled. By the way, Jiraiya, where is Orochimaru? Asked Suad. I am here, said Orochimaru as barged in room. His body was clothed with blood. 11. Orochimaru, shouted everyone. Suad instantly laid him in bed and started healing him. How did this happen? Shouted Suad. Minato, that masked man, said Orochimaru. 10. What about him? Did he do this? Asked Minato in anger. Yeah, he was Uchiha Madara, shouted Orochimaru. 4. Everyone froze in room. Wait, what? Asked Kakashi. He was first to recover from shock. That's utter bullshit. He is dead from decades, shouted Obito. 4. Do you think I am lying? Roared Orochimaru. No b-bit, said Rin. I saw Sharingan too, said Minato, and other gasped. That man is still alive, said Suad. 3. If things have come to this, then I might as well as tell you this, said Jiraiya in serious tone. What? Asked Minato in worried tone. The toad has given the prophecy. The world will face a great calamity. The whole shinobi world will tremble in fear. Few shinobi will rise and save the world, said Jiraiya. There was a silence. I think it's Mito and Narumi, said Jiraiya in low voice. 11. And why not Naruto? Asked Hiruzen, who just entered room. He doesn't have Kyuubi Charka. No offense, but we're talking about sake of world, said Jiraiya. 34. Maybe it's true, said Minato. Everyone looked at him. Minato, we have to start their training when they reach their age, said Jiraiya. Everyone nodded. Hiruzen looked at them. He cited, since Minato body has taken a damages, I and Minato both will share Hokage's power. Is it fine with you, Minato? Asked Hiruzen. Minato nodded. Minato and Hiruzen teleported in council room. They were launched with many questions. Silence, shouted Minato. Everyone became quiet. Kyuubi has been defeated, said Minato calmly. 1. Everyone shouted, cheering. I have sealed the Charka of Kyuubi in my 2 eldest daughters. However, they're not Kyuubi, they just possess their powers, shouted Minato. 2. Everyone nodded. They're Princess of Konoha, Goddesses, 1, and Soul, asked Danzo. 5. Everyone became quiet. My son Naruto However, he is not Kyuubi, he just holds his soul. Kyuubi and Naruto are two different person, said Minato. Kill him. 15. Monster. 3. Demon. 3. Silence, roared Hiruzen 2. Naruto is not demon or anything. If you try to harm him I will kill you, said Minato in deadly tone. 5. Yeah, there is huge difference between scroll and kunai. Scroll holds the kunai but it cannot hurt someone, however kunai is sharp and can hurt someone, said Fugaku. 5. Indeed, said Hiyashi Hyuga. Troublesome, muttered Shikaku. 1. Every clan head nodded. However, things never go as planned. 2. Immediately after council meeting was over, the news spread like fire. Mito and Narumi were deemed as goddess, however Naruto was declared demon. However, no one said it loud and internally they hated Naruto. This was the beginning of story of Uzumaki. Naruto in Namikaze compound. A happy family was training and having a good time. Except for one Uzumaki Namikaze. Naruto 6. He looked at them with sadness. Flashback. A 6-year-old Naruto came running towards his mother. He pulled her hand, shouted in excitement, "Ka-san," shouted Naruto. "Hi Soichi," asked Kushina sweetly. "Ka-san, when will you train me like Mito ne and Narumi ne?" asked a 6-year-old Naruto. Kushina bended on her knees and looked into his eyes. Naruto, this year we won't be starting your training, next year, okay? Said Kushina softly. Naruto face fell on that, but he smiled again. Next year, right? Asked Naruto and Kushina nodded. All right. Naruto ran in his room. Kushina looked at him with sadness and guilt. It's for safety of Mito and Narumi. Sorry, Naruto, you have to hang in there. Though Kushina 6. Minato, who was watching it from distance and approached her, he kept hand on her shoulder and said softly, "It pains me too, but Jiraiya sensei is never wrong," said Minato in guilt. 27. Flashback end. But that didn't end it here. They never took his opinions where to go during family location. They always favored her two big sister. 7. Naruto has been turned 8 now. They still gave same reasons. Naruto never understood why his parents concentrated on his sisters more than him, but that wasn't the end. Naruto got cold stares from everyone in village except Ichiraku. Ramen 9. He had no friends. Every time he tried to make friends they avoid him or calls him freak. He was hurt, but he never expressed it to his godparents. Never talked him. They always give gift to Mito and Narumi but always forget him. 7. But it all passed its limit on his 8th birthday. Flashback. Naruto woke up and ran down. Today is his birthday. Ka-san 2-chan, shouted Naruto. He entered drawing room and saw his family having breakfast. He felt bad that they didn't called him or wake him, but he ignored that feeling. Family is family, right? 6. Naruto, say happy birthday to your big sister, said Minato with smile. Happy birthday Mito ne and Narumi ne, shouted Naruto. Thanks Ototo, said Narumi and Mito. Everyone went back to eating and Naruto waited and waited. Nobody wished him, nor his parents, nor his godparents. Not Team Minato. Nobody did. They simply forget. He looked at decoration. His name was there in banner too. He walked out sadly in his room and laid on bed. Tears escaped his eyes. They forgot. 4. Flashback and his parents kept forgetting him on daily basis. Naruto walked in his room. It was 6 months ago it all happened. Naruto's room was full of books from ninjutsu to genjutsu and finjutsu. All type of books were there. Naruto picked up the books and started reading. He will prove everyone. Next day Naruto was walking around Konoha. He was getting all that cold glares. He flinched when a woman gave her a look of disgust. Naruto pushed Charka in his ears to listen all the whispers. See, it's him. Why can't he just die? I can't believe Hokage-sama allowed this monster to live. Naruto flinched. Why can't he just die, son? Don't go near him, he is freak. 4 Naruto ran towards Sarutobi compound. He entered and spotted Hiruzen. Gigi, shouted Naruto as he hugged him. Hiruzen was the only person who cared about Naruto. He gave him gifts unlike others. He gave attention to him. 6. Naruto, what happened? Said Hiruzen in concern tone. Gigi, did I do something bad? Asked Naruto as he started to cry. Tears poured out of his eyes. Hiruzen ran to him and hugged him tightly. Oh Naruto, what happened? Asked Hiruzen through he had pretty good idea what actually happened. Gigi, they keep calling me monster freak. Am I a monster? Asked Naruto. Hiruzen eyed in shock. No, you're not a monster, you're Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto. Said Hiruzen firmly. Gigi, can you teach me Finjutsu? Asked Naruto. 6. Hiruzen looked at him with interest. Why? Asked Hiruzen. 1. It is so amazing, Naruto said brightly. Naruto, do you know your parents are masters in Finjutsu? Asked Hiruzen. Naruto looked in shock. Really? Asked Naruto. Hiruzen nodded. That's it, I can learn Finjutsu. I will impress them and then they will train me. Shouted Naruto in excitement. Hiruzen looked at boy in pity. Kushina Minato, I am disappointed. 45. Let's go Naruto, I will teach you, said Hiruzen. Naruto followed happily. Line break. Naruto said his goodbye to Hiruzen and walked towards his house. Naruto was memorizing what Hiruzen taught him. Storage seal basic Finjutsu formulas. A drunk villager was coming Naruto's way. He looked at Naruto and sneered, demon brat, why don't you die? Said drunk villager. He smashed the bottle on his hand. Naruto looked in horror and ran at his home. He was about to enter when he was spotted by Team Minato. Naruto? Asked Rin. Naruto flipped around to see Kakashi, Obito and Rin. They always preferred their sister over him. They simply ignored him. Yeah? Asked Naruto politely. Your hand is bleeding, said Rin in alert tone. 1. She healed him. And Kakashi and Obito looked at Naruto in curious look. Woa. What is this? Asked Naruto. Rin smiled and answered, it's medical jutsu. It is to heal people when they're sick and injured. Naruto looked in awe. Can you teach me? Asked Naruto innocently. Sorry, Naruto, I am busy with duties. 1. But you always teach Narumi ne and Mito ne, said Naruto. Yeah. But, Naruto, shouted Kushina. Naruto flipped around to see his mother. What happened? Asked Kushina. I fell and got hurt, lied Naruto. 1. Be careful from next time, said Kushina sternly. 3. Naruto looked at his mother and nodded. Naruto went inside his house and spotted Suad. Surprisingly, she was using medical jutsu to heal Mito's hand. She did her work and was about to go to train his sisters. Suad Ba-chan, said Naruto politely. Naruto knew Suad and he barely talked. Suad looked at Naruto and asked in disinterested tone, what? Asked Suad. Naruto flinched and Suad seems to notice it. She scolded herself. 1. I mean, what is it, Naruto? Asked Suad politely. Can you teach me medical arts? No, I am training Mito and Narumi. I don't have time, said Suad. 2. But Kushina came and shouted at Naruto. Naruto, stop troubling her, go to room, shouted Kushina. 4. Naruto flinched and ran in his room. He cited, why nobody teaches me except Gigi. 5. Naruto cited and laid on his bed to sleep. He wasn't hungry. Naruto woke up. He yawned and looked at time. It was 9 a.m. and Sunday. He decided to go downstairs. He saw empty drawing room. He looked for his mother in kitchen. Nobody was there. He saw everyone training everyone. Team Minato, his godparents. Parents to Mito and Narumi. He looked with jealousy and walked away. He was walking around Konoha. Suddenly a stone hit him. His forehead started bleeding. He looked at who threw it. One of the children was sneering at him. His mother and father was praising him. Suddenly everyone started throwing at him. Freak, asshole, 9, monster, demon, Suddenly the man who made demon comment went flying. He looked at the boy who kicked him. He knew who he was, elder son of his mother's best friend, to Uchiha. Itachi 31. Itachi walked up to him and looked in worried tone. Are you fine? Asked Itachi in soft voice. Naruto nodded shyly. You're Naruto, right? Asked Itachi. Naruto nodded. What are you doing here? Where are your parents? Asked Itachi. They're training my big sister. Why not you? Asked Itachi as he narrowed his eye. I don't know, they keep saying next time, but, said Naruto sadly. Itachi paused. Do you have any friends? Asked Itachi. 6. Naruto shook his head. Whenever I try to speak they run away or called me freak and starts laughing. Itachi didn't show him, but he was pissed. Itachi ni! Shouted Sasuke as he ran and hugged him. Who is this? Asked Sasuke. Itachi smiled. He's my friend, said Itachi. Naruto looked at him in shock. Oi, let's be friends, shouted Sasuke. 11. Naruto looked at him and asked, don't you hate me? Asked Naruto. Itachi sighed. No, you're Itachi ni's friend, right? Let's be friends, said Sasuke, and that was starting of Sasuke's and Naruto's friendship. 16. Line break. 1 year later. 2. It has been 1 year since Naruto and Sasuke became friends. In short amount of time they became pretty close. Naruto also met Satsuki, Sasuke's elder sister and Itachi's younger sister. She was arrogant and said Naruto is useless and idiot, much to annoyance of Sasuke. 13. Sasuke also knew how Naruto's parents ignored him. He was fuming. It took a while to calm him down. Naruto and Sasuke were training while they noticed a raven-haired girl spying on them. 5. Oi, you can come out now, said Sasuke. Hinata came out and looked at them shyly. Why were you spying on us? Asked Sasuke. Can I train with you too and be friends? Asked Hinata with all courage. 9. Both boys gave her suspicious look but nodded. After that Naruto, Hinata and Sasuke became good friends. They hanged out all day and trained. One Naruto said his goodbye to both of them and went towards his home. He entered the house and went straight to his room. Hey loser, shouted Mito, and Narumi laughed. Naruto knew her sisters looked down on him and bullied him. All the love they got made them arrogant. Naruto ran into his room and shut his door. However, every good things come to an end. Naruto went towards his house after saying goodbye to Hinata and Sasuke. Sasuke and Hinata went towards their house. Sasuke and Hinata noticed that Uchiha compound was totally silent. Hinata insisted to come with him. Sasuke agreed. Sasuke and Hinata made their way to house. Ka-chan? Asked Sasuke. Hinata noticed that all light were off. They went into his parents' room. They froze. His father's dead body was lying on floor. T2-san? Asked Sasuke while his voice was wavering. Sasuke said cold voice. They turned around to see Shisui standing. Shisui used his Sharingan and made him watch how he murdered half of Uchiha. 23. He looked at Hinata and put him in Genjutsu where he killed both Sasuke and Naruto. 4. Next day Naruto was walking towards hospital. He just heard news that Uchiha Shisui murdered half of his clan. 3. Hinata and Sasuke were in trauma. Uchiha Makoto survived and was now new leader of Uchiha clan. 1. Naruto knocked in room and entered. He saw Sasuke and Hinata on bed. Sasuke? Asked Naruto nervously. Sasuke looked at him with lifeless eye. Naruto flinched at this sight. I'll kill Shisui, said Sasuke. Naruto recoiled back in shock. Sasuke, shouted Makoto as she came in room. Naruto decided to give them space and went towards Hinata. Are you alright, Hinata? Asked Naruto. Hinata gave him forced smile and nodded. 8 months later. After that day Sasuke devoted himself to training. He will kill Shisui. He started to avoid Naruto. He felt hurt himself to avoid him, but he was sure he will understand. He ignored him and stopped coming at regular places they met. Hinata spent most of her time in Hyuga compound. She wanted to become strong to protect Naruto. And Sasuke, she avoided Naruto. It hurted her. She became cold towards him. Naruto was heartbroken. He became alone again. 15 Naruto was walking towards his house. He entered to see his parents and sisters talking. He avoided their gaze and tried to go into his room, but unfortunately they saw him. Naruto asked Minato. Naruto gave him a fake smile and said, "Yeah, tomorrow there is clan meeting. All clans are meeting and kids too, so you will come with us too." "San, is it fine if I don't come?" asked Naruto. "Why?" asked Minato. "I have something to do, so I can't." "Sorry," said Naruto. Minato gave him a smile. "All right, but if you feel like you can come, okay," said Minato. 5 Naruto nodded. Kushina was frowning at his response. Mito and Narumi rolled their eye. Next day Naruto was walking out at night. His parents were at clan meeting occasion. Naruto noticed a bunch of villagers coming at him. He turned around to run, but one of them caught him. "Demon brat, today you die," said a man as they sneered at them. They started beating him. They smashed bottle on his head. 3 Naruto cried in pain. They stabbed him on legs and kicked him on ribs. Suddenly a Anbu came and stopped them. It was Weasel. Uchiha Itachi. 23 Itachi burned them alive and killed them on spot. He took him to hospital. 3 Mindscape. Naruto woke up in dark place. He stood up and looked around. "Where am I?" asked Naruto. "Finally my prisoner graces us with his presence," said Kyuubi. 4 Naruto looked scared. "Why, you're 9 Tails. Well, at least you aren't dumb," said Kyuubi. "But father killed you," said Naruto. "Ha, he didn't. Your father divided my charka into 2 parts and sealed them inside your sister and sealed my soul within you," said Kyuubi. Naruto froze. Kyuubi seemed to notice it and smirked. "Yeah. The reason everyone hates you is they think you're Kyuubi," said Kyuubi. 2 Naruto stood frozen. Memories started to fill his brain. Demon brat, monster, devil, freak, Hinata and Sasuke ignoring him, his sisters bullying him, his parents not training him. Naruto's eyes were filled with rage. He was trembling. "I have an offer for you," said Kyuubi. Naruto looked at him. "I am going to train you," said Kyuubi. "What's the deal?" asked Naruto. "No deal. I will train you since you're worthless." "Parents aren't," said Kyuubi. 18 Naruto grinned. "What's your name?" asked Naruto. Kyuubi looked for a second and replied, "Kurama," said Kurama. Kushina was working in kitchen. She was thinking how many things have happened in few years. 4 They trained their daughter and tomorrow is graduation day. Naruto, a pang of jealousy came in her heart. She knew they neglected him and he has been distant from them for a while. 5 Minato was working in Hokage office. He was looking at his family photo. He smiled. When he looked at Naruto, he felt guilty for not training him, for never paying attention them. He was determined to make him to him. Yes, tonight 7 Academy. Naruto was sitting at last row. He was fucking bored. He knew all answers. Most of the time he would have left a shadow clone at Academy and left to train. Like all 3 years he was doing 3, but today Iruka asked him to be there. 1 Uchiha Sasuke was sitting with cold eye and trying best to ignore fangirls, especially Sakura. He has trained along with his mother and was very powerful. Much to an academy level student, he still plans to kill Shisui. But on other hand, he looks at Hinata and Naruto. He misses the time he spended with them. 3 Hinata Hyuga sat with aura of confidence. She was determined to pass exams and she knew she was going to protect Naruto and Sasuke. Her eyes were cold. She looked at Naruto and Sasuke and sadness come over her. She ignored Naruto till he stopped talking her. She knew he was still a kind-hearted man, or at least she thought. 5 Mito Uzumaki Namikaze was bored. She just wanted to go home and enjoy food. She also wanted to talk her brother after she talked various girls and they told how their small brother loved them and played with them. She felt jealous, but that was not the only reason she wanted to connect. She knew she and her sister have bullied him and her parents have neglected him, so she was determined to make up to him. 8. Narumi Uzumaki Namikaze have similar thoughts. She wanted to make up to her small brother. She will make him smile again and become family. 3. Satsuki Uchiha looked at Naruto. She wanted to apologize to him for that. She wanted to come closer to him. 12. Kiba Inuzuka was arrogant brat. He is from Inuzuka clan. He was good-hearted guy but was loud, brash but was strong. Shino was just Shino. He was insect breeding clan and loved insects. 6. Ino Yamanaka Shikamaru Nara Choji Akamichi Sakura Haruno 2. Alright students, tomorrow is graduation exams. Best of luck, shouted Iruka 1. Everyone nodded. Naruto stood and walked out of classroom. Naruto quickly walked out of academy and wanted to go and rest. He walked towards his house while enjoying sunset. You're rather enjoying yourself, said Kurama. Is it wrong to enjoy? Asked Naruto. Naruto reached his house and entered. He heard the conversation. Today everyone is coming, said Kushina happily. Everyone, thought Naruto. Yeah, said Minato. Naruto decided not to butt in and went into his room without being noticed. Naruto slept on his bed. Line break. Naruto was sleeping peacefully when a knock was heard. He was still sleepy and opened his door. He saw a black-haired woman. Who the hell are you? Asked Naruto, still sleepy. 30. I am Shizune. Everyone is waiting for you, said Shizune. Naruto nodded and followed her. Naruto looked and saw everyone, the Sanins and Team Minato. Naruto just sat on sofa, ignoring all eye on him. 3. There was silence. Naruto, said Minato warmly, we have finally decided to start your training, said Kushina. 13. Mito and Narumi smiled and cheered while others smiled warmly at scene. No, said Naruto coldly. 16. What? Said Minato. I don't need your training, said Naruto. 5. Why? Asked Kushina. 3. I asked when I needed it. You kept rejecting it. Now I don't need it. Said Naruto calmly. Obito and Rin looked shocked while Kakashi was frowning. Jiraiya and Suad were staring at Naruto. Orochimaru just observed Naruto. 16. But Otouto, we can try. No, Minato looked visibly hurted and was looking at ground while Kushina was controlling her tears. 5. Naruto, please stop. You shouldn't say such harsh words. Please reconsider. 8. Know your place, Uchiha, said Naruto venomously. 30. Obito recoiled back in shock. Naruto, that's enough. I will. Shut up. Hitaki, said Naruto coldly. Kakashi was about to say something but Rin stopped him. Naruto-kun, listen, said Orochimaru. You're Orochimaru, right? Asked Naruto. Orochimaru nodded. Gigi speaks highly of you, so I'll listen, said Naruto. Thanks. I am not gonna say if you should or not accept their training. Will you be able to pass exam tomorrow? Asked Orochimaru. Naruto nodded in confidently. Well, that's okay then. 3. Like hell he has no training. We can't. 1. Naruto turned back and moved towards his room. Naruto, please give us a chance just once, said Mito. 2. Naruto ignored her and went back into room 2. Next day Naruto wore his new outfit. 10. Imagine Naruto's hairs and face. 2. Naruto walked in drawing room. He tried to escape his parents but failed. Naruto, said Minato. What? Asked Naruto coldly. I know we have neglected you and I want to make it up to you, so let us try. 8. I don't need your training. I don't need you. I am good if I am alone, said Naruto calmly. Minato flinched at his comment. Naruto walked out of House 4 Academy. Naruto sat in room he was waiting for his turn patiently. He glanced back to see parents standing behind. Uzumaki Namikaze. Naruto, said Iruka. Naruto walked down and looked at him. All right, Naruto, first do transformation. Jutsu, said Iruka. Naruto made a hand sign and transformed into Iruka. Good, now make a clone, said Iruka. Naruto made a clone who looked exactly like him. Now switch position with chair. Naruto switched position with chairs. Excellent, said Iruka. 3 Minato and Kushina felt proud while guilty that they weren't the one who taught him. Next was kunai throwing. Naruto got a perfect score. Not even Mito or Narumi, not Sasuke or her sister, nor Hinata got full score. Iruka congratulated Naruto and gave him his headband. Naruto smiled and walked away. 6 He Sunshin away when nobody was seeing him. Naruto was pissed. His parents have called him downstairs for apparently another so-called family meeting. 6 He walked downwards in staircase. Naruto ignored her and went at Minato. You called? Asked Naruto with clam tone, but Minato can sense rage. Yeah, your mother wanted to talk you about something. Naruto glared at her while she glared back. What? Naruto, how about you wait another year more? We at least need 1 year to make you level up to your elder sisters. Just 1 year and I will make you. Shut up. Kushina looked at him and asked, what? I said shut up you. And your shitty bullshit is annoying the fuck out of me. 15. Don't curse. 1. I don't need your training or you, said Naruto. Kushina visibly flinched. Her son doesn't want her own son. 3. And don't you dare to compare me with those girls, said Naruto in warning. Kushina stepped back. She crossed limits. Naruto glanced at watch and cited, fucking late again, said Naruto. He turned towards Minato. I hope you haven't excluded me in team formation. I swear I will go to Sarutobi Gigi and tell him don't forget you and he both are Hokage. Minato, said Naruto with venom. Minato I widen offcuss. I didn't, said Minato. Naruto glared at him and went towards door. Have fu, slam. Academy. Naruto entered the classroom. Everyone was already there. Naruto, did something happened? You're late, asked Iruka. Iruka as one person Naruto will never hate. He loves Iruka. 12. No sensei. Just some problems, said Naruto. Iruka nodded. Hey loser, what are you doing here? I am surprised. Failure, you like past, you weak piece of shit, said Kiba as he taunted. In all 3 years Kiba makes fun of Naruto. Naruto always ignores him so people take him for weak ass. It's not just Kiba but others too. 1 Naruto ignored him and sat on his seat. I agree, please quit being shinobi, you're weak. You should just remain in house, said Hinata coldly. 21. Please let me become stronger. I will protect you. I will be your 4. Ha, what a loser. Go home you useless. Naruto, shouted Sakura. 7. You're annoying my Sasuke, said Sakura. Ino remained silent. 1 Mito and Narumi were glaring daggers at Kiba and Sakura. Everyone was waiting for response but none came. Hinata was surprised. She knew Naruto had short temper. Unfortunately that was 3 years ago. Suddenly a killer intent washed whole room. It was coming from Iruka. 2 Master of Jongu 233k 36 kelvins. In order to save Naruto's life, the Sandaime is forced to use a kinjutsu stolen by the Shoden to help Naruto survive. Now with the incredible power of Jongu on his, see Naruto neglected by his family. Genis. Naruto 73 8 kelvins 953. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze neglected by his parents. Kushina and Minato. Uzumaki Namikaze were his parents and he was left out of everything. Naruto was born with slightly the wood fox. 46 8 kelvins 906. A Naruto fanfic. Hope you guys enjoy. I don't own any characters. There is going to be Sasuke and Sakura bashing from time to time. Please enjoy. Straw Hat Ninja 150 kelvins 26 kelvins neglected for his sister. Naruto learns that the nine-tailed fox's soul is passing on due to lack of chakra in his last moments. Kurama asked the Shinigami to replace Seal's Naruto X Fairy Tail fanfiction und 47 Kelvins 157 Igneel came to the Fairy Tail Guildhall in a spirit body offering Natsu a task he could choose to take or not. It was October 10th, the day the Kyuubi attacked the V. Grace a Naruto fanfiction 205 Kelvins 59 Kelvins and quote, I'm just the son of a hero and grandson of a god and quote, just after he was born he was taken kidnapped from the village named Konoha, and since then he was raised. Inheritance Book 141 3 Kelvins 923 Iruka takes Mizuki's shuriken to the back in place of Naruto, thinking Iruka to be dead. Naruto loses control and prepares to unleash the Kyuubi. However, before he can sit Hinata and Kiba Sakura, I will not tolerate such behavior with my favorite student, Iruka said in dangerous tone. 15 Everyone Rookie Genin froze. People tend to forget he is Chunin. Hi, said Sakura. Naruto flashed a smile at Iruka sensei. Team 1 inch Team 7 Uchiha Sasuke Mito Uzumaki Namikaze Sakura under Hitaki Kakashi. Sasuke gritted his teeth in annoyance. Mito groaned and Sakura cheered too. Team 8 Hinata Hyuga Narumi Uzumaki Namikaze and Shino Aburame under Kurenai Yuhi. Hinata smiled as she was familiar with Shino while Shino nodded. Narumi was pitying her sister while cursing she couldn't be with her brother. Team 10 Shikamaru Nara Ino Yamanaka and Choji and Kiba under Asuma Sarutobi. Ino groaned while Shikamaru smirked towards Choji, who eating chips. Ino raised her hand, asked, Sensei 4, ah yes, it's a special team. Team 11 Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Satsuki Uchiha and Yakumo Kurama under Rin Nobara. Said Iruka. 11 Naruto remained calm. Satsuki cheered internally. She wanted to be with Naruto too. Sensei, who is Yakumo? Asked Naruto. Ah, Naruto, she is not graduated from academy, said Iruka. 3 Naruto nodded. Everyone went towards their partners. However, Hinata Hyuga moved towards Naruto. Naruto-san, you should give up. You're not meant to be a shinobi. I will highly recommend you. 12 Mind your own business, Hyuga, said Naruto coldly. 7 Everyone flinched or recoiled back in his tone. Hinata momentary eye widened, but she did not show. Have it your wa, out, said Naruto coldly. Hinata went back to Shino. Her teammate Sasuke was sitting quietly, but he wasn't quiet. He was thinking to make up with Naruto, but he didn't knew he was gonna be this cold. He was doubting if he was same person anymore. Gate opened and Kurenai came in. Team 8 follow me, said Kurenai. Hinata, Shino and Narumi stood in. Went out, but before Hinata looked at Naruto for last time while Narumi looked at Naruto, much to her disappointment he didn't look back. Team 7 follow me, said Hitaki Kakashi. He looked at Naruto and then went away too. Sasuke followed Kakashi. Mito and Sakura followed next. Team 10 with me, said Asuma. The smoker Kiba glared at Naruto before going. Ino sighted and followed Asuma. Shikamaru and Choji too. Everyone was gone except Naruto and Satsuki. Satsuki is older than Naruto a year. 2 Naruto finally stood up and sat in front bench. He didn't glanced at Satsuki. Satsuki was disappointed but remained normal. She didn't showed she cared. The door opened revealing a girl of Naruto's age. Yakumo entered. She has long brown hair and light brown eyes. Her hair is straight on one side but on the other side it is in a braid. Naruto looked at her and asked, Team 11? Asked Naruto. Yakumo nodded and waved. Naruto waved back with a smile. Yakumo sat next to Naruto. I am Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, said Naruto. I am Yakumo Kurama. I am Satsuki Uchiha. Gates opened revealing Rin Nohara 1, Team 11 on rooftop. said Rin. The three genin stood up. Naruto uses Shunshin and teleported above. Rin was surprised a bit that he can use the technique. Satsuki came soon from stairs and glared at Naruto. Yakumo came and sat next to them. Let's start with introduction, said Rin, smiling. How about you go first, sensei? Asked Yakumo nervously. Rin nodded and smiled. My name is Rin Nobara. My likes are medical ninjutsu. My friends and cakes. My dislikes are rapist and those who betrays friends. My future goal is to surpass Suad Senju. 11. You go pretty brown hairs. Yakumo smiled and nodded. My name is Yakumo Kurama. My likes are genjutsu and learning new style of genjutsu. My dislikes are rapist and those who underestimate genjutsu. My future goal is to become master genjutsu, said Yakumo. 7. Good dream, said Rin. Next, Uchiha. I am Satsuki Uchiha. My likes are ninjutsu, genjutsu and spending time with my mother. My dislikes are rapist and those who underestimate me. My future goal is to become a strong kunoichi, said Satsuki. 6. Rin nodded. At least she isn't a Avenger brooder, thought Rin. Naruto next. Rin expected a smile but she never got one. I am Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto. My likes are ninjutsu. My dislikes isn't something I want to share. My future goal is to become stronger, said Naruto to Rin. Looked at him in concern way. I gotta tell Minato sensei. 7. Alright, follow me in ground number 11. We will have a test, asked Yakumo. Yeah, you must pass my test, said Rin, smiling sadistically. 2. Satsuki and Yakumo gulped. Naruto walked behind Satsuki and Yakumo, who were following Rin. They finally reached ground 11. Rin turned around and looked at them. Alright, I have 2 bells on my waist. You have 3 hours to take these bells from me, said Rin. Sensei, but there is 2 bells, said Yakumo. Satsuki nodded. That's because one of you is going back into academy, said Rin coldly. Naruto eye widened slightly at that. Yakumo and Satsuki clenched their fists. 3. Start, shouted Rin. Yakumo and Satsuki quickly disappeared, hidden in bushes. However, Naruto stayed where he was. Rin looked at him. Sadly, I must go easy on him. He wasn't trained well. He did ask me and I denied. I will make up to you and make you strongest genin. I swear, Naruto, I will be your role model. Naruto took a breath and did some stretches. Aren't you weird, Naru-kun? You should hide in. No point, you're a jonin, I bet. You already know where those 2 are, said Naruto calmly. Rin internally nodded. Not to mention number 3 is inside you, gives you a slight advantage, said Naruto. 7. Rin froze in her place. Her eye darted at him. He knows it's a SSS class. 3. Fire style, great fireball jutsu, Naruto shouted as he weaved hang signs. A large fireball was launched at Rin. Rin's eye widened. 4. Elemental jutsu, Rin dogged the fireball easily. Naruto didn't waste a time and launched at her. He tried to kick her on face but she slammed him on ground. Poof. Rin eye narrowed. Kage bunshin no jutsu. 2. Suddenly 5. Naruto attacked her from behind. 3 of them were destroyed but 4th managed to kick her in stomach. She flipped back and was about to fall when Naruto's 5th clone caught her. Naru, suddenly real Naruto, came in front of her and weaved hand signs, wind-style wind bullet. A pressure of wind was launched towards Rin. Rin kicked Naruto's clone and countered with her own jutsu, wind-style wind arrow. A small arrow of wind shaped in air and countered Naruto's wind bullet. The shock wave threw Naruto on ground. Naruto looked Rin coming at him. Tch, so that's a power of Jonin. He's strong compared to other kids on his age, said Isobu. Agreed, and he became strong on his own, said Rin. Naruto stood up and Shunshin away. Rin eye narrowed. So you hide now? Rin tried to sense him but was shocked when she couldn't. Isobu, this boy is just I know he will cause trouble in future, mark my words. 5 Rin looked at trees and decided to test her other students. No way dead last is this strong, said Satsuki. He was hiding his true power, damn. I wonder if he really is dead last, asked Rin. Satsuki's eye widened and she turned around just to get punched by Rin. Satsuki coughed and stood up. Fire release, great fireball technique, shouted Satsuki. Rin smirked. All Uchiha knows this basic jutsu, Obito, used when Minato Sensei testes us. 1 Rin weaved hand signs, water-style water palm blade. A big blade of water was launched in air and countered fireball. Satsuki ran towards Rin and tried to punch her, but her fist was caught and she was sended flying at tree. Her body slammed against tree. She's good, but her taijutsu lacks and her speed. Rin turned to see Naruto and Yakumo standing behind her. She was surprised to see them. Did they finally saw meaning, teamwork, right? Asked Naruto. Rin nodded and smiled. Good, who figured? Asked Rin. Naruto did, admitted Yakumo then. Suddenly Yakumo launched herself at Rin. Rin was shocked by her strength, but it was still nothing in front of her. 7 She blocked her fist with clashing her own fist. She was about to attack Yakumo when Naruto kicked at her left leg. Naruto's eye widened when she didn't even flinch. He looked up to see Rin smirking. Satsuki tried to kick her on head, but she dodged easily and grabbed her and threw on Yakumo. Naruto clones launched themselves at Rin and engaged her in taijutsu. Naruto's clone grabbed her left hand while other tried to kick her back, but Rin used her strength to overpower them and destroyed them. Satsuki threw kunai at her, but she dodged them in mid-air. Suddenly Obito came in front of her. Obito? Asked Rin in surprise. Rin did release. Rin broke the genjutsu and she smirked at Yakumo, who was standing behind her. Naruto and Satsuki came beside her. So this is the power of a Jonin, thought Satsuki and Yakumo. You pass, said Rin. What? Asked Satsuki. Didn't you figure out true meaning? Asked Rin. No, I just went with flow, said Satsuki nervously. Rin hugged her. Yes. That's more good. Team 11 is official. Meet me tomorrow for training 8 a.m., said Rin as she disappeared. I passed, shouted Yakumo. Satsuki smiled widely. Naruto smiled a bit. He sighed and began to go on his own way. Naruto? Asked Satsuki. Naruto looked at her. Yeah? Asked Naruto blankly. Do you want to go to eat somewhere as in team? Asked Satsuki. Yakumo smiled and nodded. Ramen, said Naruto quietly. They stood shocked but nodded happily. They walked together and started talking among themselves. Hokage office. All Jonin were sitting in row. Minato and Kushina was behind Hokage desk while all the Sannin along with third Hokage were at one side of the room. Kakashi entered room. Yo. You're late, dead-planted Asuma. Other snickered. Gomen a black cat, too. Yeah Kakashi we know, said Minato. Kakashi sat down and started reading Icha Paradise 2. Rin came through door. Am I late? Asked Rin. Rin? Asked Kushina in surprised tone. Sorry Kushina C and Minato sensei. It took a bit longer, said Rin. No, it's okay, you must have a reason, unlike some masked man, said Minato tauntingly. Kakashi was crying anime tears. Team 1 fail, Team 2 fail, Team 3 fail, Team 4 fail, Team 5 fail, Team 6 fail, Team 7 pass, said Kakashi. I see. What? Asked everyone. Kakashi looked at them and cited. Yay, they passed. Uchiha Sasuke is well trained and is average in terms of genin, while Haruno Sakura is a fangirl, but she has very good potential for becoming great. Shinobi Mito Uzumaki Kamikaze. She is strong and cooperative. Sasuke lacks motivation to work together, but it's fixed now. 4 Everyone nodded. Team 8 pass. Hinata Hyuga as well in taijutsu and has calm personality. Her sensory ability due to her dujutsu is good and she is willing to help in cooperate. Shino is a quiet boy who lacks in taijutsu but is good in controlling insect Narumi. Uzumaki Namikaze has a good nature and she exceeds in taijutsu and ninjutsu but her genjutsu ability lacks, but I can help her, said Kurenai. Kushina and Minato had their chest proud at their daughter's achievement. Jiraiya and Suad were also proud. Kakashi and Rin were happy. Team 10. Shikamaru is lazy boy but his IQ is something that cannot be underestimated. His shadow manipulation is fine. Taijutsu lacks but I can work on that. Kiba is loud and brash but is strong. Ino is a fangirl but her taijutsu is fine. Choji is a good-hearted boy but gets angry when someone calls him fat. This team needs most of work, said Asuma. Everyone pity Asuma. Team 11 pass. Uchiha Satsuki is good in Uchiha taijutsu and her ninjutsu is good. She, unlike her brother, isn't a brooder. She has a lot of potential. Yakumo Kurama, her genjutsu almost got me. Her taijutsu is surprisingly well. Hokage-sama, that girl shouldn't become a shinobi. Kurenai, stop, you're crushing a girl's dream. I will not tolerate any shit against my student, said Rin coldly. She and Kurenai had a glaring match. Stop you both, said Minato. Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto. He is. Everyone's side. They knew he was dead last. Some people in room felt guilty including Kakashi. No, guilty didn't explain how they were feeling. Totally awesome. His taijutsu was badass. His physical strength was good and let me add without chakra. His ninjutsu including high elemental jutsu. He has shown fire element and wind element. He can make many Kage Bunshin. He was the on who recognized true meaning of test and I am sure he was holding back, said Rin. Everyone has wide eye. No way, said Kurenai, her jaw hanging too. Kakashi eye narrowed in shock. It seems like we have a prodigy. Minato and Kushina froze in their place. No way. They wanted to train their son and get closer to him but Kami knows how he is strong as hell. Guilt 9. It broke their heart that it wasn't them who trained him. Jiraiya gritted his teeth. He was thinking of making him apprentice, but what is this? His plan to make come closer is destroyed. 6. Tsunade was planning on investigating on this. I see, said Minato in guilt tone. And Sensei, there is something you must know, said Rin nervously. What? Asked Jiraiya. Everyone, you may leave except Kakashi, Hitaki, Kurenai, Asuma, said Minato. The room now consisted of Kakashi, Kurenai, Asuma, Rin and 3 Sannin. Minato and Kushina and 3rd Hokage. He knows about me being Jinchuriki of Isobu, said Rin. What? Asked everyone including Hiruzen. Rin nodded. Damn, just how, said Kakashi. That's what I want to know, asked Kushina. Minato talk with Naruto now, said Suad seriously. No, said Minato. What? Why? asked Suad. Time. His anger is obvious with us. He might end up becoming more pissed, said Minato. Naruto, said Jiraiya. I named him yet I didn't do anything for him. 4. Naruto. What are you planning? asked Kurama. I was just made. Don't joke around now. They will definitely get suspicious of you. Chill.